YouTube? It's your boy Ziggy Doom, man. Welcome back to another podcast. I apologize for being off. If y'all saw my video, a couple videos back, I had, was dealing with something personal in real life, and I didn't feel, I wasn't really in the mood to make podcasts. But now, I'm getting back on track, and here we are, another podcast. This one is a big one, and I got some suggestions to do it live. But maybe I'll do that later on, depending on how much attention this video gets. But we're going to talk about one of those things that everyone deals with, and there really isn't a right way to do it. But, all we do is try. And we all have our own opinions about it. We're going to talk about relationships. Relationships. I was going to do it with my brother, but my brother is a little camera shy. Shout out Love Doctor. So I decided to get one of my good friends who I've known for a very long time. Ladies and gentlemen, Andronette Bennett. What's up, Droney?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good, man. Long time no see.
I know it's been too long. Okay, question. I
Yep.
just heard the intro. You said your brother, the Love Doctor, was shy?
The Love Doctor was shy, yes.
Oh, okay. Okay, I love that. Okay, let's keep moving.
Yeah, when he hear this, he gonna be probably mad at me. But I asked him, and he was like, "I'm just not ready for that your platform, Ziggy." I was like, "All right, no worries." But yeah, he got his own YouTube channel, The Love Doctor. Check it out. So, Droney, what's been up, man? How's things been on your end?
All is well.
All is well.
I don't think I have any real complaints. Not like it would change anything, but I'm good.
Yeah, I agree. Changing. So let's get into it, man. Let's just get right into it. Get some of these obvious questions. First, let me say this. A lot of times, people who are in relationships will say a person that's not in a relationship cannot give relationship advice. What do you think about people that say that?
I can understand the truth, the sentiment behind it, but I don't agree, because sometimes you can be on the outside looking in and you can see things that you may not necessarily see when you're in the issue, when you're sitting in it, when you're stewing in whatever this problem is. You may not always see it, so sometimes outside perspective is good. That's why people have therapists. Your therapist isn't in your relationship, but they can kind of tell you what they think is going on.
Yeah, and it's crazy. I never understood people with that philosophy. It's like, hey, now if you've never been in a relationship, then okay, you probably can't give relationship advice. But if you have been in relationships and you currently aren't in one, then I think you still, have the ability to give relationship advice. If you buy a car and you drive it and you no longer have that car, does that mean you can't give someone else advice about buying and driving a car? I just never understood that. How you gonna give a relationship advice being in a relationship? I personally, I am single, but I'm single by choice. It's not because I don't have the ability to be in a relationship. It's just I choose to be single. There's a difference between being single because you choose to and being single because you just don't have a choice. Now, moving on. So what, okay, and this is, with regards to your relationship status, what do you think some key things are for a relationship initially? Like the initial things that have to be just met?
For me, I would say trust, having a connection with that person, the ability to physically be there with that person. Like, that's important to me. Like, I don't think I could do long distance. Just knowing that this person I can see myself growing and building with. In the back of my mind, if I can't see us going past a month or two, then it's pointless. But yeah, I would say, though, I guess those are my basics.
And another thing also, because I'm getting it from a woman's perspective. If I would have did this podcast with a guy it would have appeared to be one-sided, because guys we see relationships a little differently than women. So I do have a good friend who's very educated, college educated. Y'all know I bring very intelligent people on my show, very independent. So her opinion holds weight, and it holds weight. So she's just not up here some random she actually she's college educated. That's a big thing for me. But why do people in these relationships in the beginning, they put on these shows, like everyone goes on the initial date, or when they initially meet someone, they try to sell themselves, like, let me wear the nicest clothes and dress the nicest and put all this flash of pizzazz in the beginning. And that's just not who that person is. And then once you fall for that person you meet that sold you this image, and later on you realize that's not that person, then the relationship goes bad. I think that's one main reason why relationships don't work. I mean, aside from trust, right? You have to have trust. Trust is just the foundation of any healthy relationship. But why? I think people shouldn't put on a show in the beginning, and then, because later on it's like, you're not that person I met. How many times have you experienced that, where you met a person and they were just so awesome when you met them, and then later on you realize, like, oh nah, this not it.
So I really think people put on that facade in the beginning because you're attracted to what you see. You just going skin deep. So I feel like we're all kind of, we're all human. We are kind of looking at, okay, well, this person looks good, and that's solely what we're basing it off of. Appearance.
The physical, right? Initially, it's the physical. Initially, it's the physical, right?
Right. So you want to, kind of keep up that I look good thing. You want to show your best foot. I don't want nobody to come in to see me and they looking dusty and raggedy. Put some effort into it.
Okay.
Yes.
I will. Okay. So here's my take on it, right? Because I mean, obviously, you don't want no one to be dusty and ashy knuckles and everything. I get that. Well groomed and all that. But here's my thing. If you carry yourself, if you maintain yourself a certain way 24/7, right? That's how you are 24/7. Do you think it's okay to enhance that just for the initial impression? Like, when you meet someone, you enhance everything just to get them to have more appeal for you, or does it just stay 24? Should you just say 24/7?
I don't see anything wrong with it, but it depends on what this enhancement is.
Okay, I'll give you an example, a personal example. So I'm a pretty basic guy. T-shirts, sweats. That is like my 24/7. I don't, aftershave and everything. I touch up where I need to touch up to keep my hygiene within, reasonable. A nice smell here and there, okay. Now, I go meet someone that was introduced to me from someone else, and I do a little bit of background check, because you got to do background checks on people, man. I don't know why people don't be doing background checks, but I do a little background check, and the background, check comes by, they're okay. Ain't got no felonies, ain't no pending charges, no stuff like that. And I meet them, and here it is. Like, I mean, the tight jeans, the tight shirt, the makeup, the hair, and we talk about 10 minutes. So I asked, I said, so do you carry yourself like this all the time? Is this how you look every single day, or is this kind of a and you doing that? You look like this for this occasion? And she, oh no, this is my normal. I'm upscale 24/7. Okay. A month goes by. I communicate back and forth via text. Month goes by. I see them unexpectedly in an area in the public, and they didn't see me. And without being too mean, I'm just gonna say they looked like they did not look like the person that they told me they looked like. I'll just say that. And instead of approaching them, behind the scenes, I later on just like slowly stopped talking, and they got the hint and the end. But what about those kind of like instances?
Okay, well, first, I think that's unfair because just because you do this all the time doesn't mean that 24 hours a day, every time you wake up, you have to do that. So I think that's a little crazy. But I don't see anything wrong with that. If I decide I want to wear makeup and to our date and I want to look like a doll baby, if I want to look like a Barbie, I can do that. And if you don't, if you don't care for that, then I really feel like that's more so person, that's a you thing. That's something where you need a person who is more like, you may need a person who's more, in their natural element, not into all that razzle dazzle. Because for some people, they might like it. They might like, their woman to have all that razzle dazzle.
Yeah.
All the time.
And the reason I asked was because I just wanted to get a complete 360 understanding of what I would be getting myself involved with. And it's okay to not look a certain way 24/7, but if you tell me that, that's all I can go off of. With me, what you see is what you get. I do not know how to razzle dazzle to impress. I can get neat now. I can get neat and for an occasional event. Now, don't get it twisted. I can get cute. Well, not cute. I'm a grown man. I can get handsome. Don't call me cute. Don't say Ziggy doing cute. I'm a grown man. Handsome, attractive. But when I meet you, that's pretty much what you're gonna get. Because if I have to put on the show to get you, I'm not gonna keep putting that show on. That happens in a lot of relationships. I'm telling you. You see a man. Okay, first social media, right? Take a picture, and everybody takes pictures on social media looking absolutely flawless. They skin, they hair, they nails, man and woman. And then you see them in real life, and they still look good. But then later on, a couple of nights in bed with them, they rolling over and they starting to, look like, hold on, who did what to who? And they not as.
Yeah, but that's gonna be expected.
Yeah, I'm not saying.
It has to be expected.
I'm not saying you gotta. Okay, I'm not saying you have to look as good in bed as you did when you with the makeup on. I'm not saying that. Okay, what I'm saying is, if you have on so much makeup to where when you take it off, you look like a completely different human being, then when I met you, that's too much. And then it's like, okay, well now I realize you drink or you smoke or you don't. If you have children, you're not involved with your children and, stuff like that, subtle things that over time, it's like a deal breakers. But imagine if...
I do agree with the aspect that it should, whatever your things are should enhance or add to your beauty. I don't feel like it should make you look like a different person. I do have a problem with when people take off this makeup and it's just like, okay, now I love makeup, but those are not the same people. I do have an issue with that. I don't like that. I think that's a little bit deceiving.
So you've never met a guy in the beginning, he was just like awesome, and then later on you realize that this not it. That's never happened to you?
I don't really think so. I think I kind of see people for who they are, despite what they try to put forward. I have a lot of discernment, so I don't think that. Now, I think we may have, had issues that now I start to see you in a different light, but I don't think it's like, well, you tried to hide this from me. I don't think that, no.
Okay, so...
But then I'm not just jumping into relationships with every person I meet, which is also why that happens.
Yeah.
When you don't get to know people enough, then those type of things happen.
Yep. I'm glad you said that, because from a woman, because a lot of times women and men, people, let's just say people, they don't know how to be alone, right? They don't know how to make themselves happy. So they feel that they have to be in a relationship to not only be successful, but also to not be lonely and to be happy. And they don't do the footwork in the beginning to get to know the person. and then they realize, after they slept with them and given them, their everything and whatever, they realize too late. Because whatever you give a person in a relationship, physically, intimately, you can't ever get that back. Even if the relationship goes south, you can never get that back. So that person walks away with a part of you that you can never get back. And that's why I think it's important to take the time to get to know a person wholeheartedly before you take it to that level. If relationship is the direction you're going, correct? I mean, would you agree? Or?
Yeah, definitely.
So I would rather, be by myself and better myself and everything before I try to reach out and try to be with somebody else to help make me better and not be alone. And most of the times people be in relationships and they still be alone. They just got somebody next to them, like you're still lonely. You just in a relationship with somebody. If they not making you happy, if they not, helping you become better, if you guys aren't building anything together, if there's no challenges, if it's just, let me wake up, fix them breakfast, they go to work, I go to work, come home, fix dinner, we go to bed. If it's like that, that's not really growth. That's kind of just being complacent. So those aren't.
That complacency is what keeps people in relationships. You just get comfortable. Like, it's hard out here in these streets. I don't want to do this again. I'm gonna just stay right here. If I'm happy or not, I'll fake it till I make it. Maybe eventually this person will make me happy.
Yeah, like he drinks beer and comes home drunk, but he doesn't cheat on me, or he hits me. And
I was just about to say, I don't think drinking beer and coming home late is. I mean, it's like okay. But you went that route.
But see. But what happens is people find themselves making excuses for why they're still in a relationship, right? Like, he drinks, he smokes, but he doesn't cheat on me. Or he beats me and belittles me, but he has a job and pays all the bills. So that's the complacency. Like, that doesn't make, sense.
Okay, I understand what you're saying, but I think your scenario is, however, a little bit
extreme.
I don't even think extreme. I think they don't match a real person. They match you because you don't drink and or smoke. So if I'm with someone and they come home drunk, it is not a deal breaker.
Right. No, these are just examples. No, these are just examples, right? I'm not saying these are just examples. Okay, on the flip side, okay, he goes to work, he pays bills, he doesn't hit me, he doesn't drink, he doesn't smoke, but he's boring. He doesn't want to go anywhere. He wears sweatpants all day. He's not outgoing. I mean, you see what I'm saying? That's a scenario too, right? Like,
I think in that scenario, those are things you could probably get over. But I mean, listen, I get what you're trying to get me.
Because there will never be like, I mean, no one's perfect. But what I'm giving examples of someone who has to use excuses as to why they're in a relationship with someone. And now those were just examples. I'm not necessarily saying if you drink or smoke, it's a deal breaker or whatever. I'm just saying those are examples as excuses. Like when you ever see the people that try to sell their relationships, right? They meet somebody, they take 1,000 pictures, they put it on Facebook, and then 3 months later, all those pictures just disappeared. And it's like, hey, did the person die? Did they vanish? No, the relationship didn't work, and now you don't want to explain why you got all these pictures and stuff.
Right. See, people just move too quick sometimes.
Yes, too fast.
And people want love and happiness. So when they get that first sign of it, they throw everything at it. And it's unfortunate because sometimes people take advantage of that and they see, this is just a sucker for love pretty much, and I'm just gonna get what I can. They get out while I can. So
they were in a horrible relationship before, and then they meet someone who's just a little bit better, or even not even better, just a little different, and they just, oh God, this is so better than my last relationship. Let me throw everything I have to this person. Let me move in with them. Let me profess my love to them. And you realize, like, wait a minute, maybe I shouldn't have done that. Maybe I should have did some research and stuff. And for me, I've been single for, oh God, I don't even like, but I'd rather be single that way than to waste my time rushing into being with someone who I know I can't, grow and develop with. And no one's perfect, but if I have to choose between, staying in the house or jumping out a window, I'm going to just stay in the house. I mean, I don't know if that was a good analogy, but.
Listen, okay. Yes, it's great. We're going to go with it.
Oh, man. I just, it's.
We're going to work on your analogies for the next conversation.
Yeah.
Straight.
Hey, how you say God's still working on me?
Where's the in between? But I got you.
No, it's just, I just see it like, man, so many relationships fail. And it's like, would you agree that first of all, you have to bring something to a relationship, right? You can't just bring cooking, cleaning, and intimacy, or, having a job. You can't just bring that. I don't think that's enough to sustain a healthy relationship. A man has a job and he works and pays bills. That's good enough. I mean, do you think that's good enough? Just you work and pay bills, that's good enough for
No, I definitely think that you have to, put have something else.
Substance.
Yes, you have to.
You have to have substance, right? You have to be able to hold conversations. You have to be able to, where I'm weak at, you have to be able to be strong to have a nice balance and equilibrium. You have to be you have to be reliable. Hey, if I lose my job or if I can't go to work because I hurt my leg, you have to be able to, let me go work a job or two, or, and on the flip side, hey, you can't do this or do that. Well, I can. Let me help you. And let's grow together. It has to be substance. And sometimes, Droony, can I call you Droony? This is my third time saying it. Is it okay? Yeah. I kind of gave you that nickname, but I'm just saying for the public.
You've been calling me Droony.
Well, the world.
I'll be like, what are you calling me?
To the world, it's Andrewnet, but Droony just kind of stuck. I don't want to be, disrespectful. So.
Oh, okay. Continue, sir.
Yeah, you have to get a person to earn you, right? And that means you have to know your worth, right? I don't go out into the world seeking, because I know my value and my worth. So I'm actually a commodity. So it's not what I can give you. What can you give me? Like, wait a minute now, hold on. I got substance. I'm good. What can you give me? And if it's not much, then ain't no relationship talk. Nah, you don't have, huh?
I said I agree.
You don't have to be, you don't have to be perfect. You just have to be productive. You have to have purpose in the relationship. And sadly, I go out in the world, the little that I do go out in the world, and everyone seems to follow that same mold. What can you do for me? That's the mold that, okay, well, I can do a lot, but what can you do for yourself? And also, what can you do for me? You see what I'm saying? Like, hey, bro, this got to go. And relationships, let me say this to the camera. Relationships are not 50-50. They are 100-100. And if you don't understand the math of that, then shame on your public school that you went to. Relationships ain't fit. It's 100-100. You both have to be willing to put 100% into the relationship. Y'all both can't just put 50-50, because both of y'all putting half. And I know people, like I said, might be some tricky math, but if your half and her half, you think that makes a hole in the relationship, that's not how that works. You both have to put 100% into the relationship, right? Because you got you, her, or you and him, and then a relationship in the middle. You take your 100%, put it in a relationship. She takes 100%, put it in a relationship. That's how they should work. But I get the common the common term, relationships are 50-50. I get it. But when you think about it, no, it's 100-100. You don't put half into a relationship. You put your all into a relationship. Would you agree, or you like, wait a minute?
I agree. Yeah, no, I agree. Everyone has to be giving their all.
Yes, they all.
Whatever your number is, you need to be giving all of it. I don't care if it's the 75. We each give 75, but you need to be giving your all.
Now let's get to the kind of adult part of it. You know, I try to keep my podcast PG-13, but you know, I got to call it how I see it. A man, it seems like a lot of relationships, they built on that prize of a man being intimate with a woman. Now, I think when a man, when that happens prematurely, too early, without any, you know, effort, then that will make the relationship falter, because now you've given that prize initially, and now there's nothing else to attain. It's like, hey, I got that. So I think that's another thing that also hinders relationships, when that happens too prematurely. I ain't gonna say too fast, but I'm saying it happens prematurely. What is your take on it? Like, I know, do you think there's a timetable, or is there a certain checklist has to be met? Or?
Honestly, I don't really prescribe to that notion that you have to wait this amount of time. You got to do this thing. You got to do that, because in the end, none of that is going to matter. You know, you guys are either going to work or you're not. You know, there's no real in between. I really think that is a personal preference as far as what you decide to do. You just got to do what you can sleep with at night. Now, I've been in situations where I've had sex quick, and, you know, it was fine. It didn't hinder anything. And I've been in situations where I had sex quick, and it did. It was like, maybe we shouldn't have done this, you know, but I really think it just depends on
the circumstance, the individual.
Every situation is different. There is no handbook on love. There's no handbook on when you should have sex. There's just, you just do what feels right to you. And that's just it. Like, I don't think that there should be like, oh, well, you gotta wait, you know. What was the Steve Harvey thing? I've never even read the book. Whatever that thing was, 90 days or 60 days or, okay, well, that may work for, you know, you, but that may not work for another person. Like, they may not want to wait 90 days. So I really think it's just a personal preference, and you just decide how you want to move about it. As long as you are happy with your decision, it doesn't matter if it took you 4 hours and you're like, oh yeah, I like this person, I want to have sex. Then have sex. You know, it kind of is what it is. Just be safe about it and do what you want.
Yeah, I don't think there's a timetable. I mean, you can't really put a time, a week, 2 weeks, because what if you wait 2 months, 3 months, 90 days, and then you do it and it's just like horrible, right? You're like, wait a minute.
Listen,
3 months for this?
I do not care. I am one of those people that will say, get it out of the way as quick as possible. As quick as you humanly see it possible. And my reasoning, this is just me. If you don't do that, that's fine. You can do it however you want. But I say, do it as soon as possible. Whatever's comfortable for you. Because you might not like it. And for me, she, her. I can only speak for Antoinette. Can't speak for anyone else. Sex is important to me. It is a deal breaker to me. It may not be to someone else. To me, it is a deal breaker.
That's a good one.
I want to make that very clear. Me, she, her. That is a deal breaker.
Yeah, because
I am not about to marry someone or be with someone for a million years, and I'm not happy sexually. Call it what you want. Call it vain. You're shallow. That's fine. I've been called worse. I know what I like, and that's just that.
That's the.
I'm not. I know me. I know If I am not happy, then I'm going to be looking elsewhere. And I don't believe in relationships you should be looking elsewhere. I feel as though you should be with the person who you want to be with. So if I have decided that I want to be with you, then I need to be happy. And vice versa. If I'm not doing it for you, then hey, this ain't gonna work.
Right.
That's just my beliefs.
I'm pretty sure, and matter of fact, I know that there are women who are with guys and they are just not getting satisfied sexually. I know, and
I don't even know how they lives.
Well, the compromise for them is, well, sex isn't everything, and it's okay. Sex is not that important. That's their compromise. They're willing to deal with subpar or bad or no sex for financial security and emotional, support and all those things. They're willing to serve. I'm telling you, they got women that come from overseas. These men meet these women from overseas. They bring them to this country. They don't do. The intimacy is non-existent. But these women allow these men to bring them here because it gives them a better life. I mean, they families actually teach these women to meet a man that can give them a better life, regardless of how they look, regardless of how they smell, regardless of how they, are intimate with them, and it gives them a better life than the life they had. So the compromise for them is.
And I'm sure that once they get someone and they realize what's really out there,
yeah,
they're gone.
Exactly. That's exactly what happened, Druni. That is exactly what happened. They like, wait a minute, hold on, all this out here.
In the Players Club, you gotta use what you got to get what you want. So if they're using their feminine wiles to get them in the States, citizenship, hey, do what you do. If you fall for it, I'm sorry for you.
That is exactly what happened. I'm talking. I know real life people that have brought women from other countries and gave them better lives, and they definitely ventured elsewhere to find that piece that was missing. So, I mean, it's unfortunate, but this is why I say you need to do your research about the person you get involved with. And to be fair, there are some guys that are perfectly fine with that. Hey, we don't have to have sex. She just makes me happy and keeps me from being alone.
See, I know for me, I would never be that person. So
yeah, me neither.
I applaud people like that. But
me neither. Yeah,
make my feminine parts jump, then
more power to y'all. But I can't. Ain't no way that there's no way. But and what about there are some cultures too, Druni, right? That in their culture, they are raised to treat men a certain way. Like I'm talking about. You gotta be subservient to your man. Your man can treat you like crap, but you gotta cook his food. You gotta be, one step behind him and all that. That's a thing too in some cultures. I see that. I'll be walking around like, man, this dude got treating you like crap, and you just at his hand and foot for him. So what about the cultural aspect of it?
Listen, I was born in the United States of the Americas. Yes,
oh man.
Culturally, I get it. I understand that is what you're taught.
You gotta marry a certain person.
I know that there's nothing they can do about that because that is how they're taught. So I get it. It's unfortunate. It is unfortunate.
Very.
However, yet again, let's go back to me, she, her cannot. Me, she, her cannot do that. No.
So
you're not talking crazy to me. Now I think I'm clean. I'm gonna do that anyway because that's just what I do.
Mm-hmm.
But all that other stuff, no, thank you.
Okay, and to be fair, if your guy isn't happy sexually, you would want him to tell you, right? You wouldn't want him to just go behind your back or whatever.
No, tell me. Because how else am I going to know?
That's where the communication comes in. So for me, trust, loyalty, communication, right? Communication, substance. I can get past, the appearance, right? I'm not out here looking for a dime. Y'all know the 10 out of 10. I'm not looking for that, especially at my age, right? Because beauty fades with time. So I don't want to have a good looking woman. Some dudes do this. I don't want to have a good looking woman next to me and she's dumb as bricks. She just looks good. And everyone, she turns heads, but she can't multiply 3-digit numbers in her head. Like, I don't want that, you know? I can go down a couple of numbers, you know, a 4. All right, I ain't going lower than a 4. I'm sorry. I'm not going lower than a 4. That's being, because 5 is average. I'm not going lower than a 4, man. If you a 3, if you got all this stuff and you a 3, man, look, just call me shallow, because I can't, I'm sorry, okay? Because I got to look at you every day. So I can go to a 4, but you got to have substance, trust, communication, and loyalty. And everything else we can, you know, work on. That's just my thing. What's your oh yeah, I'm sorry. And you gotta be intimately aware. I don't know if that's the politically correct term. You gotta be intimately active. How about that? Does that sound better? Intimately active.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, that's me. You know, my thing.
You know, in today's society, it's so hard because everything we do is focused on looks.
Oh yeah.
And it's unfortunate. It's unfortunate because all these surgeries that a lot of these, you know, women are getting, and
Preach.
It's like, when you are old, that is not going to look good.
Preach.
It is going to look terrible. And I just wish we would go back to more of the natural beauty, like the natural beauty. And I don't mean natural as far as like you don't wear makeup, you don't wear this, you don't wear that. Like, no, do all of those things if those things make you happy. But still, when you wipe it off, I know who you are.
Right.
I'm going to tell you something. There is a lady at my job. I'm not going to say anything else. There's a lady at my job. We all have to have our pictures up on Messenger because we do a lot of remote work. So they want us to have a picture up because they want us to know who we're talking with, whatever. This lady has her picture up. And we went in the office one day. And I'm looking for this lady because I see this picture. Mind you, I know that this is a highly edited picture. I can tell.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, I don't know this woman. She comes around and she's speaking to us, and I'm speaking because I'm nice. I'm going to talk, and she's speaking to me. And then when she walked away, I asked my coworker, and I was like, who is that? And I was like, oh, that's XYZ. I'm sorry. Who is that? I'm like, oh, that's her. And I was like, from the picture that I'm looking at right now? And it was, I mean, when I tell you, I'm a darker complected woman. She is also a darker complected woman. The lady looked like a white woman.
Wow.
There was so much makeup and so much
was it
editing.
Foundation?
She looked like a white woman. And it's just like, it's sad. It was funny initially. Now every time I see her, all I do is laugh because I think about that picture that I know looks nothing like her. But it's sad because you felt the need to do this. So
she's catfishing her customers?
I mean, that picture and her, now she's a pretty woman. Let's be very clear. She's still a pretty person. Mm-hmm. So, but it's sad. It's like, why do you have to do that? Why do you have to, you know, make yourself look completely different to put that picture out to the world? Because the picture I have on mine is just a picture of me at a baseball game, a football game. No, just it. No makeup, no nothing. Because that's what you're going to get 9 times out of 10. Just me.
Yeah.
And I wear makeup, but I don't feel the need to make myself look like a completely different. I mean, her it was scary.
I don't know, man. Society, you know, and I don't want to get too far off topic, but society does put pressures on people to make them feel as if they need to be lighter to look better. I don't agree with that. That is a whole podcast. That's what I'm saying. We'll have to. Oh yes. Yes.
We're gonna go there. As a dark skinned black woman, we're gonna go there because I'm gonna be triggered.
Yeah.
So
and
we're gonna leave that alone.
Yeah, and we've had conversations before about that kind of stuff. I just think it's unfortunate, a dark skinned woman can't be as beautiful as a light skinned woman. Come on, man, stop that. Don't nah. But yeah, so guys, my take, this my take on relationship advice, and my friends' take on relationship advice are our takes, our opinions, right? This isn't a how to or relationships for dummies, and everyone's not gonna agree with it, because I'm pretty sure I have viewers that listen to my podcast and be just whatever. They don't know what they're talking about, and that's fine, that's cool. We just having conversation. There is no one way to do relationships, and for me, like I was in 2 relationships my entire life. That's funny, huh?
It is.
Well, I've been in 2 relationships my entire life, and those women were great to me. They did everything right by me. I say that to this day. They did everything right by me. They took care of me. They were loyal. They did everything right. They checked all the boxes. But I was the knucklehead. I was young. I was immature. I was reckless. I didn't know anything about love. I had no idea how to love, and I didn't understand relationships and treating a woman. And I was just selfish, self-centered, immature, reckless, young, all that. So, but I learned, sometimes you can do everything right in a relationship and it still doesn't work. That's the point I'm trying to make. They did everything right by me and it still didn't work, but it was because of me. And I learned from that, because you don't find that, man or woman, you won't really find that kind of a person. They don't come a dime a dozen. So when you do find someone that may fit that mold, you might want to hone in on them and take better care of them than I did in my relationships. But I'm learning, I'm getting better and working on me, and I'm single by choice still, YouTube. And what do you think, Judy? What's your last words of advice for the viewers?
My advice for viewers, for the people, just do what makes you happy and don't be concerned with everyone else, because in the end, you are the only one that has to live with your decisions. That's it. Just do what makes you happy. I know I am.
Living your best life, huh?
That's it.
That's it. You can't live your best life until Amir plays football. Amir, if your mama let you watch this, I've been lobbying you to play sports almost your whole life, and your mama just.
It's okay. He'll never play sports, and I will go unsubscribe to YouTube channel for him.
Oh my God! Wow. All right, YouTube, man, that's it for this podcast. I really don't know what I'm gonna do next week for a podcast. Me and Junior almost got into 2 whole different topics, just off of this one. So I'll probably revisit those in the future run. We definitely gonna come back to relationships. And I'm going to go live with it, but I'm going to have to have more time and opportunity. But we definitely going to visit this one. But as always, man.
You need to circle the block on that colorism one as well.
Yeah. I think on that one, though, I'm going to have like you. I'll have a woman and a man, and I'll have their takes on it, because I like to be diverse as opposed to just one dynamic of it. But yeah, that's definitely a good one. Colorism, it is a real thing. And I see it when I hear someone say, I want to be white and skinny, and they biracial, but none of their races is white, and they want to be white and skinny. That lets me know, like, wow, it really what they see on this TV really, has an impression on them. I mean, I'll go as far as to say I see some of these female artists that will lighten their skin to look lighter, and it's just like, wow, you was already gorgeous with your skin. Why do you have to lighten it? And I mean, Lark Voorhees, y'all can look up that tragedy, and Little Kim. Like you can look these things up and see how it affected them, and it's unfortunate, but. That's going to be for another podcast, man. I really appreciate y'all for watching this. Like I always say, like, share, subscribe, hit the notifications so I ain't got to I ain't got to copy and paste the link to my new videos to people and send it in a message. That can get annoying, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, man, hit the notification bell, like, share, subscribe. Thank y'all for watching. Until the next video, be easy.